when we're talking about how to start modulating and managing inflammation in a healthy way so that we're getting the positive effects of natural innate inflammation and avoiding the destructive parts of inflammation, what we need to understand are what are the common perpetrators, if you will, that are causing this out of control inflammation in most people in Western culture. We're going to list them here as simple carbohydrates, bad fats, lectins, phytic acid, oxalates, gluten, herbicides and pesticides, including some medications and how they affect how we digest and process foods. And then, of course, that stealth agent that makes us age faster than we should, that literally has the acronym a.g.e.s. Let's dive deeper into each one of those. Who are the perpetrators that we're going to focus on today? There are more, obviously, right? What I'm not going to really cover is a lot of things like food colorings, additives, preservatives, flavor enhancers. I do a really thorough job of that in another lecture. We've got discs on it. And I don't really feel like doing it again because it's really nerdy stuff. But it's worth knowing. To give you an idea, some of the worst things that you can ever feed the human body are colorings. And the hard part in the United States is most of these things are not tested in bodies, they're tested in petri dishes. And these chemicals, as you can appreciate, seems even if you don't have a strong biology background, react quite differently once you put them in hydrochloric acid, buffer them with bile salts, and then have a wide variety of yeasts and bacteria and things like that in our microflora contending with them. That whatever went in is not going to be the same within a short period of time, and it's going to create totally new novel chemicals. Remember what I said, it's either a toxin, inert, or used as a building block, right? Even inert things like plastics. What do we now know? Plastic isn't inert. It's inert in its desired form, but as things like UV, the universal forces, as those things start breaking it down, the byproducts, the off-gassing of these plastics are some gnarly chemicals. Benzenes, things like that, aldehydes, all these things that are really not good for the body, right? And here's the sad reality. Every single sample of human tissue done in a modern world in Western civilizations is polluted with plastic derivatives. So is some of the stuff we're contending with just plastic? So what am I going to say? It's like, hey, try to avoid some plastic, eh? Right? Like don't put your stuff in a plastic Tupperware jug and then stick it in the microwave and heat it. Right? When you first get in your car, you know that new car smell? Yeah, that's benzene gas. Like it's a neurotoxin and a cancer former. So in this area, when it was 180 million degrees the other day, right? What was it, like 116? And I'm like,
115.
Yeah, that's an oven setting, eh? That's not a weather report. That's crazy. But inside the car, it was probably like
5 times as hot.
Yeah. You know, and so you get in, it's like, whoo, you know, you kind of get that chemical-y smell, right? First thing you should do, even if it's scorching hot, roll down all the windows and drive a bit, eh? Try to flush all that out. And then roll them up. You know, try to minimize the impact on your body, all right? Still not going to be perfect. So we're not going to deep dive into that. What I want to start with, we're going to go in this list, if you're making notes, simple carbohydrates, bad fats, lectins, phytic acid, oxalates, gluten, herbicides and pesticides. I'll touch lightly on some, you know, without naming them, but how some common medications affects this. As you already can assume, you know, anti-inflammatory medications are going to affect the inflammation pathway. In some ways positive, in some ways not positive, right? But because that's what they're designed to do. And then we're going to talk about that in acronym a.g.e.s also, because that's kind of a stealth agent on this one. So let's dive in on this if we can.